Whose child is this?
Chinedu was not born into wealth. Growing up in a small town, he watched others live for better lives abroad while he remained behind, hustling daily. He worked multiple jobs: Okada rider, night security guard, even construction, saving every naira with one dream: to travel abroad and change his life. Through all the hardship, one person kept him going: Adis, his beautiful, soft-spoken girlfriend. She believed in him when others mocked him. When Chinedu finally secured a visa after years of struggle, it felt like a miracle. Before leaving Nigeria, he held Adis' hands and said, "Wait for me. Everything I do over there is for us." Tears filled her eyes as she promised, "I will wait. I am yours." Life abroad was not the paradise Chinedu imagined. In the cold streets of a foreign country, he faced loneliness, racism, and exhausting jobs. He cleaned offices at night and worked in warehouses during the day. But every month, without fail, he sent money back home, to Adis. He paid her rent. He funded her small business. He even started saving to bring her abroad. Whenever he was tired, he would look at her pictures and whisper, "This suffering is temporary. Soon, we will be together." Adis always sounded loving on calls. She thanked him, prayed for him, and reassured him. But slowly, things began to change. She became harder to reach. Her replies grew shorter. Her social media became different. Still, Chinedu trusted her. Love had blinded him. After years of sacrifice, Chinedu finally processed Adis' papers and brought her abroad. The day she arrived at the airport, he ran into her arms, overwhelmed with joy. "We made it," he whispered. For a moment, everything felt perfect. But something was off. Adis seemed distant. She avoided deep conversations. She always stayed on her phone. Within months, she announced, "I'm pregnant." Chinedu was overjoyed. He felt his sacrifices had finally paid off. He began working even harder, preparing for fatherhood. The day the baby was born, Chinedu rushed into the hospital, excited to see his child. But when the nurse placed the baby in his arms, his world shattered. The baby had very light skin, soft blonde hair, and blue eyes. Chinedu froze. His hands trembled. This is not my child." The room went silent. Adis looked away. After pressure and confrontation, the truth came out like a flood. While Chinedu was abroad suffering and sending money, Adis had been involved with another man, a white man who lived in Nigeria temporarily. She used Chinedu's money to live comfortably, while living a double life. And when the man left the country, she returned fully to Chinedu, hiding the pregnancy timeline. Chinedu felt his soul break. Years of sacrifice, trust, love, all destroyed in one moment. He shouted, "I built you. I suffered for you. And this is what you give me." Adis cried, begged, and claimed it was a mistake. But Chinedu could not unsee the truth. The child was innocent, but the betrayal was too deep. Chinedu had always believed that love was something you fought for. Not the kind of love that came easy. Not the kind wrapped in comfort and luxury. No, his kind of love was built on sacrifice, sweat, and sleepless nights. The kind of love that demanded everything from you and still asked for more. Growing up in a small town in Nigeria, life had never been kind to him. His father died when he was young, leaving his mother to raise 3 children alone. School was a struggle. Food was not always guaranteed. Dreams felt like a luxury meant for other people. But Chinedu had one dream he refused to let go of. He wanted to travel abroad. To him, it wasn't just about leaving Nigeria, it was about changing his destiny. He wanted to build a life where his mother would never worry about money again. Where his future children would not know the kind of hunger he had known. And through all of this, there was Adis. Adis was the light in his darkness. She was beautiful, soft-spoken, and always knew the right words to say when life became too heavy. She believed in him when even his own relatives laughed at his dreams. "You will make it, Chinedu," she would say, placing her hand gently on his. "I see it in your eyes." And he believed her. He worked like a man possessed. During the day, he rode Okada under the scorching sun, navigating dangerous roads just to earn a few naira. At night, he worked as a security guard, fighting sleep as mosquitoes feasted on his skin. On weekends, he carried cement bags at construction sites until his back screamed in pain. Every coin he earned, he saved. Every sacrifice he made for a purpose. And finally, after years of struggle, rejection, and disappointment, his breakthrough came. A visa. Chinedu still remembered the day he held a paper in his hands. His fingers trembled. His eyes filled with tears. He had done it. The night before he left Nigeria, he went to see Adis. They sat under the quiet sky, the air heavy with unspoken emotions. "I'm doing this for us," he told her, his voice low but firm. "Everything I go through there, it's for our future." Adis nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I will wait for you," she whispered. "No matter how long it takes." He pulled her into his arms, holding her tightly as if afraid she might disappear. "Don't forget me," he said. "Never," she replied. Life abroad was nothing like the dream Chinedu had imagined. The cold hit him first, sharp and unforgiving. Then came the loneliness. No familiar faces. No warm laughter. No Adis. He worked jobs that drained the life out of him. Cleaning offices at night. Loading heavy boxes in warehouses during the day. Sometimes, he barely slept. Sometimes, he wondered if it was all worth it. But every time doubt crept in, he would open his phone and look at Adis' pictures. Her smile gave him strength. Her voice on the phone kept him going. And every month, without fail, Chinedu sent money home. He paid her rent. He funded her small business. He made sure she lacked nothing. "Are you eating well?" he would ask during their calls. "Yes, my love," she would reply sweetly. "Take care of yourself too." "I will bring you here soon," he promised. "Just be patient." "I'm waiting," she said. But slowly, things began to change. At first, it was small. She started missing his calls. Then her replies became shorter. Sometimes, she would say she was busy. Other times, she wouldn't respond at all. Chinedu noticed, but he ignored the signs. Love made him blind. He told himself she was just stressed. He told himself everything was fine. After all, this was Adis. His Adis. The one who promised to wait. Years passed. Finally, Chinedu saved enough and completed all the necessary processes to bring Adis abroad. The day she arrived was one of the happiest days of his life. At the airport, he stood nervously, his heart pounding as passengers walked out one after another. And then, he saw her. Adis. More beautiful than ever. He ran to her, pulling her into a tight embrace. "We made it," he whispered, his voice breaking with emotion. She smiled, but something about it felt different. He ignored it. Love made him hopeful. At first, things seemed fine. They moved into a small apartment together. Chinedu worked tirelessly as usual, determined to give them a better life. But Adis had changed. She was quieter. Distant. Always on her phone. Sometimes, when Chinedu tried to talk to her, she seemed distracted. "Are you okay?" he asked one night. "I'm just tired," she replied, turning away. Weeks turned into months. Then one evening, Addis dropped a bombshell. "I'm pregnant." For a moment, Chinedu was speechless. Then joy exploded inside him. "A baby," he said, his face lighting up. "Our baby." She nodded. And just like that, all his doubts disappeared. This was it. The reward for his years of suffering. He began working even harder, saving money, preparing for fatherhood. He imagined holding his child, teaching them, giving them the life he never had. He was finally happy. The day of the delivery came. Chinedu rushed to the hospital, his heart racing with excitement. He paced the hallway, praying silently. "God, please, let everything go well." Hours later, a nurse stepped out. "Congratulations," she said with a smile. "It's a baby boy." Chinedu's face lit up. "My son," he whispered. The nurse handed him the baby. And in that moment, time stopped. Chinedu stared down at the child in his arms. The baby had pale skin, blonde hair, blue eyes. His hands began to shake. His breathing grew heavy. This is not my child," he said, his voice trembling. The nurse looked confused. Addis lay on the hospital bed, her face turned away. "Explain this," Chinedu shouted, his voice echoing through the room. Silence filled the air. Then slowly, Addis began to cry. "It was a mistake," she whispered. Chinedu felt like the ground had disappeared beneath his feet. "A mistake," he repeated, his voice breaking. "What do you mean a mistake?" And then the truth came out. While Chinedu was abroad, working, suffering, sacrificing, Addis had been involved with another man. A white man who had come to Nigeria for work. He was rich, charming, present. Everything Chinedu was not at the time. She had used Chinedu's money to live comfortably, while living a double life. And when the man left the country, she returned fully to Chinedu, hiding the truth. Hiding the pregnancy timeline. Hiding everything. Chinedu felt his heart shatter into pieces. "I built you," he said slowly, tears streaming down his face. "I suffered for you. I trusted you." Addis sobbed. "I didn't mean for it to happen like this," she said. "Please forgive me." But Chinedu couldn't hear her. All he could see was betrayal. All he could feel was pain. The child cried softly in his arms. An innocent life, born into a storm it did not create. Chinedu looked at the baby, then back at Addis. "I gave you everything," he said. "And you gave me this." In the days that followed, Chinedu became a different man. Quiet. Cold. Broken. He stopped laughing. Addis never imagined that her life would fall apart so quickly. After Chinedu walked out of that hospital room, and out of her life, everything began to crumble. At first, she told herself she would be fine. She still had the baby. She still had the opportunity Chinedu had given her, the life abroad that many only dreamed of. But reality came slowly, and then all at once. The rent was due. Bills piled up. Food became scarce. And for the first time, Addis truly understood what Chinedu had gone through all those years. Only now, she was alone. The white man, the one she had risked everything for, was nowhere to be found. His number no longer went through. His social media had disappeared. It was as if he had never existed. Addis tried everything to reach him. Nothing. He was gone. And now, she was left with a child and a life she could not sustain. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Addis struggled. She had no stable job. No family nearby. No support system. The same country that once felt like a dream now felt like a prison. Sometimes, late at night, she would sit on the floor of her small apartment, holding her baby as he cried, and tears would stream endlessly down her face. "What have I done?" she would whisper. Her mind would drift back to Chinedu. His sacrifices. His love. The way he always put her first. And the way she threw it all away. She tried to contact him again. Calls. Messages. Voicemails filled with tears. "Chinedu, please. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I need you. Your son needs you," but deep down, she knew the truth. That child was not his. And Chinedu never replied. Then came the final blow. One cold morning, there was a knock on her door. Addis opened it to find 2 immigration officers standing outside. Her heart dropped instantly. "Are you Addis Okafor?" one of them asked. Her voice shook. "Yes, you are in violation of your residency conditions. You are required to come with us." Her world went silent. She tried to explain. Tried to beg. But it was too late. Without Chinedu's support, without a stable status, her stay in the country had become invalid. Within weeks, the decision was finalized. Addis was to be deported. The day she boarded the plane back to Nigeria, she felt something she had never felt before. Shame. Not just the kind people seek, but the kind that eats you from the inside. As the plane took off, she looked out the window, tears falling freely. This was the same journey Chinedu once made, full of hope. But hers was different. She was going back with regret. Back in Nigeria, life was even harder. The people who once admired her now whispered behind her back. "Isn't she the one that went abroad? She came back with a baby, no husband. I heard the man she followed abandoned her." Every word cut deep. Her family was disappointed. Her friends kept their distance. The respect she once had was gone. Addis struggled to survive. She took small jobs, selling clothes, working in shops, anything to feed her child. Sometimes, she would go an entire day without eating, just to make sure her baby had milk. At night, when the world was quiet, the memories would return. Chinedu's voice. His promises. His love. And the moment she destroyed it all. One evening, as she sat outside her small room, watching her son play in the sand, tears filled her eyes. The child laughed innocently, unaware of the pain surrounding his existence. Addis held her head in her hands. "If only I had waited, if only I had been faithful, but life does not move backward. Only forward." Months later, she gathered the courage to do something she had been afraid of. She called Chinedu. Her hands trembled as she dialed his number. For a moment, it rang. Then, he picked up. Silence filled the line. "Hello." Chinedu's voice came, calm but distant. Addis broke down immediately. "Chinedu, please, it's me." There was a pause. "I know," he said. His voice carried no anger. No warmth. Just distance. "I'm back in Nigeria," she continued, crying. "I lost everything. I've suffered. Chinedu, I'm sorry. I was foolish. I didn't value you. Please, forgive me." Silence. Long and heavy. "I think about you every day," she added. "You were the best thing that ever happened to me, and I destroyed it." Chinedu exhaled slowly. "I loved you," he said quietly. "With everything I had." More tears streamed down Addis' face. "I know," she whispered. "And that's why what you did," he continued, "broke something in me." Her heart sank. "I have changed," she said desperately. "I have learned my lesson. Please, give me another chance." Another long silence. Then finally, no, the word hit harder than a slap. Addis froze. Chinedu, she whispered. I have moved on, he said. Not because I forgot what we had, but because I had to save myself. Her chest tightened. I wish you well, he added. Take care of your child. Be the mother he deserves. And then, the line went dead. Addis lowered the phone slowly. For a moment, she couldn't breathe. This was it. The final end. No more hope. No more second chances. Just consequences. Years passed. Addis grew stronger. Not because life became easier, but because she had no choice. She raised her son with everything she had. She taught him honesty, loyalty, and the importance of valuing those who truly love you. Because she had learned the hard way. Sometimes, late at night, she would sit quietly and think about Chinedu. The man who crossed oceans for her. The man who gave her everything. The man she lost forever. And in those quiet moments, she would whisper to herself, some mistakes you never recover from. Betrayal may feel small in the moment, but its consequences can last a lifetime. Loyalty is priceless. And when you lose someone who truly loves you, you may never find that kind of love again. End.